Hey everybody, it's your friend Jason Pound here answering the top questions asked by home buyers and real estate investors in today's real estate market. The question we're tackling today, what are the consequences of missing my closing date? And the short answer for buyers and investors is, I don't know. There are too many variables at play and it is not spelled out precisely in the contract what is going to happen. I can tell you what has happened most of the time, but I can't tell you with certainty what's going to happen in your case. As usual, let me over-explain. One of the major issues that we are facing in the real estate industry today are not necessarily predatory lenders. There are a lot of lenders who'll throw an interest rate out there, say market rates today are at 6.25 and they're promising you that they can get you 4.5. And oddly enough, they miss their closing date. They can't close on time. And by the time you get to the closing table, mysteriously the interest rate has changed and you don't get that sweet deal that you were expecting. I don't know if that's predatory or lack of competence. We'll call it predatory of a sort. That's common today. But it's also common that there are just a surprising amount of lenders that can't close on time. A professional real estate agent expects a mortgage lender to be able to close in 30 days on a standard loan, 45 days on a government loan such as VA or USDA or something like that. And it's surprising how many lenders there are that can't close on time. So you as the buyer need to realize that if you are not using a trusted lender that your realtor knows, likes, and trusts, you are taking a huge risk. And here's why. If your lender cannot close the deal on time, the first thing at risk is your earnest money. Is the culture in Oklahoma that when you make an offer on a property, you submit 1% of the purchase price as a metaphorical down payment towards your layaway program for the next 30 to 45 days, showing that you have the cash and the credit and the wherewithal to purchase this house, and you in good faith are putting down 1% so that if you have failure to perform or breach a contract, that seller gets to keep your earnest money. And one of the duties that you have is to choose a good lender that can close on time. And so if you were supposed to close on May 29th and it is now June 2nd, guess what? That seller has the right to take your earnest money, put the house back on the market, and call it a day. And you just lost out. If that was a $500,000 house, you are putting $5,000 of earnest money at risk. The second thing at risk is all the inspection funds that you have invested into finding out whether this is a house you want to purchase or not. Typical inspections cost around $1,100. You want to inspect the house from the roof all the way down to the foundation, all the way through the plumbing, all the way through the electrical, all the way through all of the big ticket items. And that takes around $1,100 to do. And if you miss your closing date because of a bad lender, not only are you putting the earnest money at risk, you just put $1,100 of inspections at risk, and you might have to go shop for another property and do it all over again. Third thing is the domino effect. Let's not be selfish. You're not the only person involved in this transaction. If you have a house to sell and you have a house to buy, more often than not, that is called a contingent contract, because if you don't sell the house, you can't buy the house. Well, the people who are selling you their house are using these funds to buy another house. So they have a contingency. And then the people whose house they are buying, those folks have to sell their house to buy a new house. We just recently came out of a 3-way domino transaction. There were 2 transactions behind us that had to close before this one could close, which then had an impact on the dominoes ahead. So realize that if you miss your closing date, you are messing up the stack of dominoes, and there are people behind you and people in front of you whose lives are being messed with. And I don't know if you know, but it's hard to do last minute changes with regards to U-Hauls and rental properties and lease agreements and all of these things. Don't play that game. Choose a good lender with a good reputation that your realtor knows, likes, and trusts. And you may not get the best interest rate in the market, but you're going to get a fair interest rate. And you are going to be put with a lender who has a proven track record of doing the right thing and being able to close on time and not causing people to be temporarily homeless and stuck in hotels and not causing people to waste their inspection money and not causing people to lose their earnest money. My name is Jason Pound with Jericho Pound Realty Group, Keller Williams Molex. We service the entire Oklahoma City metro area with hyperlocal expertise in South Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman. If we can ever be of service, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to serve. In the meantime, peace out. Have a great life.